Hello, this is Big Al, and welcome to another card opening video. Today I'm going to do part 2 of this 1991 Stadium Club baseball box. 1991 was the premier edition of Stadium Club, and as I mentioned in my previous video, when I opened this, I've been looking forward to Stadium Club coming out, and I actually got this at a card shop in Florida when I took a trip down there, and when I saw it, I'm like, hey, if 2022 is being delayed, I'll open the very first edition of Stadium Club. So I opened the first 18 packs in part 1, and so I'm going to do the second 18 in part 2. We started to get some duplicates in part 1, so if you saw that, I'm sure you'll see a lot of the cards we saw there in the second half of the box. But it'll still be fun to open them, and who knows what we'll find. We found a decent amount of Hall of Famers in the last box, and notable players, and even some old Brewers for my collection. So let's get into it. Again, here's the design. Nice, clean design. No borders. Photos go to the edges of the cards. And the back shows some kind of advanced stats. And also it shows the player's Topps rookie card. So that's pretty cool. So we start with Derek Lilliquist. And getting a little bit of sticking here, I think. Mike Bielecki, Mitch Williams, Greg Gagne, get rid of the promotion card, Mark Davis, Chet Lemon, John Marzano, Moises Alou, Dennis Rasmussen, and Tom Brunansky, and Stan Javier. So that's pack 1. This is Series 1. There were 2 series of Topps Stadium Club in 1991. I believe there were 300 cards in each series. So here's Dale Murphy, Benito Santiago, Charlie O'Brien, and Alvin Davis, Joe Girardi, Pete Incaviglia, Mark Lemke, Bobby Witt, Dave Stewart in the tuxedo. We did see that one in the previous video. Marquise Grissom, Kevin Maas, and Lenny Dykstra. So moving on here. I see a Hall of Famer on the back of this pack, Eddie Whitson. And here's Dan Plesac, who starts the Brewer pile in this video. Greg Harris, Carlton Fisk. I don't think we've seen him yet in part 1 or part 2. And he is a Hall of Famer. And there's his rookie card from 1972. Howard Johnson. Mark Guthrie. Mark Grace, Kevin Tapani, Randy Reddy, Lou Whitaker, Kevin Bass, and here's a Hall of Famer, Eddie Murray. Shown with the Dodgers there, obviously well known for his time with the Orioles, but with the Dodgers there. So, Ron Darling, the Mets, now a baseball announcer, Trevor Wilson. And here's Darryl Hamilton with the Brewers. Unfortunately lost his life. Whoops, I almost knocked my camera over. Had that unfortunate incident, and he's no longer with us. But here's Gary Templeton. And Joe Orsulak. Pat Combs, Jody Reed, Darrell Irvine, Steve Avery, Dante Bichette, Jerry Brown, and a Hall of Famer, Dave Winfield. As I mentioned briefly in part one of this box, there aren't a lot of rookies to chase, especially in Series 1. The most notable rookie in the set is Jeff Bagwell, and he was in Series 2. So there really aren't rookies to look for in this box. But we're getting lots of great players anyway. And oh, here's a Hall of Famer and another one for my friend Wax Packs, Ryne Sandberg. It's a nice picture. Looks like he's tagging out Willie McGee there, sliding into second base. So Ryne Sandberg. The set is very fondly thought of more for like nostalgia, or as being the very first Stadium Club and kind of being a pioneer in these premium cards. And the photography: Shane Mack, Charlie Hayes, Dave Johnson, Bryn Smith, Jeff Ballard, Mike Henneman, Kevin Seitzer, and Carlos Baerga. Here's Rick Aguilera, Eric Shaw playing the guitar in a hammock. So that's an interesting photo. Interesting one. Mark Carrion, Jack McDowell, Mike Marshall, Rafael Ramirez, Carl Rhodes. Here's a good one, Don Mattingly. I'm going to set that, not a Hall of Famer, but a very notable player, especially at the time. Carlos Quintana, Andy Benes, Chuck Finley, and Jack Howell. This is Ken Howell, Chris Sable, Jose De Jesus, Danny Gladden, Felix Fermin, Dick Schofield, Alan Trammell. There's a nice action shot of Alan Trammell. He is in the Hall of Fame. Really nice card, nice looking card there. That's not one we've seen. Ricky Jordan, Greg Olson, David Wells, Joe McGrain, and Greg Myers. And just like in part one, it seems like the trend of the cards not sticking too badly has continued here. So I'm thinking the trick of putting them in the freezer at least seemed to work. Obviously, we don't know how they would have been without doing that, but I put these in the freezer for a while, and they have not stuck too badly. So every once in a while. Oh, here's Greg Maddux. Really nice card. We haven't seen this card yet in either part 1 or 2. So Hall of Famer Greg Maddux. Mark Gubicza, Greg Colbrun. Here's a BJ Surhoff. Look at that photo. This is why I love Stadium Club. Just photos like this, action photos like that. BJ Surhoff was a good player and fond memories as a Brewer fan, but he's not a great player. But just look at that great card. That's just why I love Stadium Club a lot. Dickie Thon, Larry Walker in the Hall of Fame, looking like he's chewing on his nails, like it was nervous time or something. And Greg Brock, another Brewer. And Matt Noakes. Mike Lavalier, Bob Walk, and Jose Lean. This is a Pirate Hot Pack. Starts with 3 straight Pirates. Barry Larkin, another Hall of Famer. Looks like he's taking batting practice there. And again, I dropped the card. That's not nice. Todd Zeile. Look at this picture. I'm not sure who that is. It might even be Sean Dunston. Like about to hit home plate, and Todd Zeile waiting for the ball or bracing to be hit. I mean, just look at that action photo. That's the kind of thing you get from Stadium Club. It doesn't feel like you get in other products. Brett Saberhagen, nice one there. Here's Tony Phillips, another nice action photo. Jimmy Key, Steve Balboni, and Bip Roberts. So we have 9 packs to go. That was the first 9 of this packs of this video. I'm glad we're not getting all just repeats from part 1. We are seeing some different cards. Obviously there's some repeats, but I'm glad to see we're getting some different ones. Here's Will Clark, Mariano Duncan, Randy Milligan, Derek May. And here's George Brett. We saw him before, but he is obviously a Hall of Famer. Terry Shumpert, Lance Parrish, Lenny Harris, Dave Parker. I think that's between the 2 videos, that's the 3rd Dave Parker we've gotten. Dave Henderson and Hector Villanueva. That pack there had a lot of repeats that we've seen. Almost the whole pack, I think. But that's to be expected. Robin Ventura, Bruce Ruffin, Edgar Martinez in the Hall of Fame, Dave Stieb, Jim Abbott, Tom Browning, Greg Briley, Hall of Famer Lee Smith, Jesse Barfield, and Rex Hudler. So that was another pack that between the 2 videos we've seen before. So as soon as I comment that I was glad we were seeing some new cards, the packs have become all repeats. But maybe we're going to see almost all the cards here, I would think. Keith Miller. Here's one of my favorites again, Teddy Higuera. Carney Lansford. And Sammy Sosa with a crooked hat. David Segui. Sean Abner. I got one sticking. Kenny Rogers. Didn't really. Frank Tanana. Lee Stevens. Here's Cecil Fielder. And Ricky Henderson. Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson sliding into home plate. And Bobby Thigpen. Otis Nixon, Mike Fitzgerald, Mike Jeffcoat, Eric Anthony, Ben McDonald, Tom Henke, and here's Chuck Krim. Watch part 1 for my Chuck Krim story. A checklist, Gino Petrali, Brooke Jacoby, and Luis Polonia. We have 5 packs left. Terry Kennedy, Alex Fernandez, Randy Tomlin, and there's Darren Dalton, Bob Guerin, Mookie Wilson, Daryl Boston, Tom Pagnozzi, Wally Joyner, here's Jose Canseco, Mike Sims, and Mike McFarland. All these packs stuck together. There we go. I hope you've enjoyed seeing these inaugural Stadium Club cards as much as I have. It's very enjoyable to see these and see these old names. Terry Mulholland, Junior Ortiz, Gary Pettis, Luis Salazar, Dana Keeker, Steve Sachs. This one's Julio Franco, Bobby Bonilla, Eric Yelding, and Ruben Sierra. Ruben Sierra, one of my favorite players growing up. Probably my favorite non-Brewer player when I was growing up. So I'm going to set him aside. And a checklist and Storm Davis. And I don't know if I have that Ruben Sierra, so I'm glad to pull that. And I don't think we've seen it yet in this box. So Eric Hansen, here's a Brewer, and it's Ron Robinson. Scott Geraltz, Von Hayes, John Farrell, Xavier Hernandez, Bob Welch, Mike Greenwell, Frank Thomas. I don't think we've come across Frank Thomas. So we have a Frank Thomas Hall of Famer. That's a nice looking card too, and his follow through of his swing. And Cal Daniels. So I think that pack had some we hadn't seen before too. There are 2 packs left. This is the second to last pack right here. And Brian Barnes, and Kurt Stillwell, and John Kruk, Jack Doherty, Bert Blyleven, Hall of Fame player, Rob Dibble, Chuck Carey, Jeff Gray, Andy Van Slyke. Here we go, Ozzie Smith. Hall of Famer Ozzie Smith. We're definitely getting some cards here we haven't seen in this pack. And Bill Doran. So the last pack of this box. Last pack of part 2, last pack of the box. Starts with Lonnie Smith, Mike Gallego, Tim Tuffle, Frank Viola, Greg Vaughn with the Brewers, Kevin Mitchell, Tim Naring, Mark Williamson, Zane Smith, Tim Jones, Denny Martinez, and the last pack of our card of the box is a nice Dave Justice. So that is part 2 of my box of Stadium Club 1991 inaugural edition. And I'll just do a quick recap here on the Brewers that I got. Greg Vaughn, Robinson, Krim, Teddy Higuera, Parker, Greg Brock, a nice looking BJ Surhoff card, Darrell Hamilton, and Dan Plesac. And then the Hall of Famers, Ozzie Smith, Blyleven, Thomas, Henderson. Well, I missed the Glenn Braggs that was stuck to Frank Thomas, Ricky Henderson, Lee Smith, Edgar, George Brett, Larkin, Larry Walker, Maddox, Trammell, Sandberg, Winfield, Eddie Murray, and Carlton Fisk. So another nice assortment of Hall of Fame players. And then also I set aside Jose Canseco, Sammy Sosa, and Don Mattingly. And also to go with my personal collection, one of my favorites always was Ruben Sierra. And then just to kind of recap a little bit what the top cards we got in part 1. If you missed it, we got this couple of these Nolan Ryans pitching in the tuxedo. And then a bunch of Hall of Fame players. I won't name them all again. But some really nice cards in this box. So I hope you enjoyed this video, seeing these 1991 Stadium Club. It's very interesting to go back to see the very first Stadium Club set. Hopefully the 2022 set will be released soon, and looking forward to that. But if you enjoyed it, please like the video, and also please subscribe to my channel. It's very appreciated. And like I said in part 1 of this video, I reached 200 subscribers, which is just unbelievable to me. So thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed. Also, I'd be very interested to see what you think of these cards in Stadium Club and this set in particular. So leave a comment. I always look forward to reading everyone's comments. So that is it for now. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, I will talk to you later. Bye.